So now when you approach the Salesforce.com website, you're greeted by a sales development rep agent named Piper, who looks somewhat familiar to me. Let me know who you think she looks like. But she's asking questions from a sales development rep perspective. So this is an agent sales rep. You can dismiss that, or you can connect with a human agent or ask Piper a question, but she is grounded upon Salesforce and voice enabled as well. But that's not what this is about. What this is about is perusing the Salesforce website in this agentic AI era and to see how Salesforce elects to approach organizing the presentation of a vast amount of information. It's a huge organization that is well outgrown its 1999 roots as just a customer relationship management platform and is now a lot more. And so here it's telling us become an agentic enterprise, and that has to do with AI agents. And they're really pushing Slack very hard and heavy now. Slack is the communications layer or collaboration layer of Salesforce, and where a lot of work gets done now, and is intended as the initial entry point or interface to a lot of Salesforce use cases now. And there's a lot of people that don't log into Salesforce, but they will work inside of Salesforce by way of Slack. It is integrated very well now, and it is where you can connect workflows and conversational data where work happens. If you were to ask me, I think that Slack should be renamed to the word work because Salesforce owns the domain name work.com, but Mark Benioff didn't ask me, and so it's still called Slack. It kind of gives off the wrong vibe if you're wanting to get work done, but it is a great interface into Salesforce. And then Tableau has to do with analytics. Agentforce is where AI happens, and AI that is performing actions on your behalf. And this is where you can build trusted agentic experiences that act with purpose. And then the Customer 360 and then the Data 360. Customer 360 and Data 360 are also represented on a diagram around Headless 360. This is a new direction that Salesforce is heading in, and this may be confusing if you're not familiar with the term headless. It just means that you can interact with the platform outside of the interface through other means. And so you've got a lot of different layers here and a lot of new buzzwords, a lot of new terminology as well. It's hard to keep up with all the changes from Salesforce. So I wanted to do an update to show you this diagram and to start to speak to it some. Now at the very base level are some different foundational large language models and providers from OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini from Google, Llama from Meta, Mistral AI, and then also open source options. You can connect your Salesforce instance to these different large language models, and there's also the AI trust layer. This is where you can configure things to help protect your data and not send it to these large language models if it's personally identifiable information or healthcare information or financial social security numbers, those sorts of things. And then here we have the Data 360. This is where you'll find the Data Cloud and other Salesforce products such as MuleSoft, Informatica, and more. And then the Customer 360, that is where Salesforce really started, is what is now the Sales Cloud and Service Cloud or platform concerns. You'll see it denoted as customer service, sales, platform, and marketing. Industries may be referred to as Industries Cloud, Commerce Cloud, Revenue Management, Field Service, IT Service Management or ITSM, and then Contact Center. And then we start to get into the agentic layer, and this is where you find Agentforce, and they've renamed the SDR agent Piper for whatever reason. I'm sure they'll rename it again. One thing you need to learn about Salesforce is they love to rename things. They innovate, but before they innovate, they rename it about 28 times. So Piper is now what used to be the sales development rep agent. And also now Agentforce is voice enabled, and you can do things with Agentforce such as prospecting, operations. This is a recent acquisition from Salesforce. Is a company called Reskill, and this has to do with operations, and it is an automations platform that works quite well. I've sat in on some demos, gotten hands-on with Reskill in the past, and so now that is starting to become integrated inside of Agentforce as well. There's also the Agent Builder, and here's Slack. That is that interface that we saw earlier. This is the system of engagement. And then Tableau is a system of insight. And you'll notice as well under Customer 360, this is the system of record. And then Data 360 is System of Context. They have renamed these as well. Somewhat, this used to be called the System of Work, but that got confusing because Slack is where work happens. So now they're saying this is the System of Record. So this is kind of the source of truth as far as your CRM data goes. And then beyond that, the highest level here is Agentforce Coworker, your AI teammate that knows your data and workflows. Here's the Slack bot. This is the interface into the Headless 360 experience of Salesforce, and also some key things now related to Headless 360 are Model Context Protocols, or MCPs. There's a lot of different things that you can do or connect into Salesforce from things such as Claude or ChatGPT by way of MCPs. And then as well, there's a lot of different API connections and also CLI commands or command line interface commands. And then there's experience layer and identity, and then also access and authorization, compliance and governance. So a lot of buzzwords, a lot here. A lot of this you're not going to be tested on because the exam is aligned several releases ago before all this came about. And this is going to change probably about every month to every 6 weeks. If history tells me anything, because Salesforce is very rapidly changing because the market is changing and they're trying to figure out their path and their way, and they will get there, but there is going to be some time before the dust really settles for all of us. And so this is my attempt at getting you up to date with what's happening at a very, very high level. And so I encourage you to always be checking out the Salesforce website to see what is the latest. How they structure their approach to categorizing their different offerings and products. And then also you will see here at the top right corner of this diagram, customer apps and agents, Anthropic, once again, ChatGPT, Teams, and Agent Exchange. Then beyond the different core components here, there are other industry cloud specific things that are really Agentforce and AI at their core. And these are 16 plus Agentforce solutions built for your industry. This is sometimes referred to as the industry cloud. And this will help you to start relating Salesforce if you have a background in one of these industries. This will give you examples of, for example, automotive. And you'll notice the Agentforce 360 mentioned. And here's automotive cloud, and also baked into every one of these industry clouds is Agentforce most assuredly. And then beyond the different industry clouds, it is a good idea to click on the products as well to see how they approach their all products concern. And you will find that Agentforce is at the top here once you get past all products, and then sales and service and marketing, etc. But if I go to all products, then you'll see how they approach their structure. And this will give you a hint as to what Salesforce is currently prioritizing, and this changes a lot over time. And then finally, product updates. You can get latest release information. This will give you the latest release of Salesforce. You can get an idea of the recent updates and the release readiness highlights. You can take the different trails on Trailhead for that. So a lot to keep in mind, a lot of changes coming to the Salesforce platform. And then you can always niche down into your own industry as well. You can explore Agentforce Labs, and there's a lot of great resources on the Salesforce website that helps you get hands-on. So I encourage you to really take a step back and think about what your goals are and why you're wanting to learn Salesforce in the first place, and not to forget your past, but to think about your future by embracing your past and really looking at and exploring how you can leverage the experience that you've gained in various industries and how to apply or add Salesforce to your tool chest of tools and skills.